Hello and welcome to another video. Today is another sketchbook tour and it is sketchbook number 8. And so according to this was done in January of 2016. Hooray! Or it started May in 2015, but I crossed that out, so maybe that's not the right time. But yeah, this is a Canson XL mixed media watercolor mixed media sketchbook. It's a 9" by 12". It's actually very large. It's pretty big. It's like the size of my arm. And for a really long time, this was my preferred sketchbook. As we go through my sketchbook tours, you'll see that a lot of my sketchbooks are these Canson XL media ones, just because they're pretty cheap. And since they're mixed media, you can use pretty much any sort of medium on it. Like, it's good with ink, and it's good with pencil, and it's okay with markers and stuff. I believe I've tried watercolor on this because, like I've said before, I have tried watercolor in the past. I didn't like it, but I did try to use it. So, yeah. If you are like a beginner artist and you can't sink a lot of money into any sketchbooks, I would just go with these ones. You can find these at Walmart, Target, places like that. So you don't have to go to like Michael's or get them online or anything. And they're not super expensive. So I'd recommend these. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get into the sketchbook now. All right, so the very first drawing is a drawing of Raven from Teen Titans. I watched Teen Titans as a kid, like from 2005, the 2005 version of Teen Titans, not Teen Titans Go. I mean, I've seen Teen Titans Go. I don't have a problem with Teen Titans Go. I know a lot of people got really upset when they rebooted it, and it's like really silly and stuff. But some episodes of Teen Titans Go are pretty funny. But yeah, this is from the OG though. So I didn't really watch it too much, but I did have a favorite character, and it's Raven. I just think her look is really good, and I still like her aesthetic. So this is a drawing of her. I switched the way I did noses. Instead of doing just a little line, I tried to incorporate like this little triangle. So yeah, like in Soul Eater, kind of. Another drawing of Raven. And so this is like one of the first drawings I ever did with markers. So my parents got me these really, really cheap set of alcohol markers. Like really cheap. I don't even know what they were called. But they knew I was interested, so they got me some. And as you can see, I did not know how to color with them. And I didn't know, look, here you can see I smeared the ink because I didn't wait for the pen to dry long enough. And also you could see it's really streaky because at the time I didn't know how to color with markers. And so I was just doing the same thing I was doing with colored pencils. And obviously it's very streaky, except for the shoes. Since the shoes are small, I think by the time I got to the shoes, I had learned a little bit of how to do it right. And so, yeah. And also, in this sketchbook, this is where I tried to learn how to use a brush pen. I had a phase in my art where I really wanted to learn how to use a brush pen just because I saw people use brush pens, and I was like, that's so cool. But as you can see, I'm actually pretty heavy-handed. And with a brush pen, you need sort of kind of like a delicate touch. And then, so, when a brush pen, you want to start off soft, and then you push down more to get those thicker lines. And so when you want to do line weight, you try to keep your hand consistent, right? And then you push down when you want a little bit of a thicker line, like if you wanted shadows and stuff. But at the time, I did not realize that. And so mostly I just had these really thick lines. And unfortunately, I never even finished this drawing. I didn't even color in her hair or her cape. Oh, another drawing of Raven. But I guess I really didn't like it because I went and tried out a different brush pen on top of it. I think this is supposed to be a drawing of an OC I had at the time. But I actually can't remember. Oh yeah, it is. Her name is Diana. I remember her. In the story, she was a ghost. Another silly little drawing. This is of like a little cat. I don't even know if I did this. Or if I let somebody else draw on my sketchbook and they did it. I have no idea. It's a little bit hard to see though. Sorry about that. Another drawing of an OC I had. His name was David. And I was trying to draw a slick back hair look. As you can see, I have inspiration for the slick back hair look. But his hairline is so messed up. Like, look at this. All the way down. And then this hair comes all the way down here. What is that guy? A drawing of myself I never finished. I don't know. I think it's supposed to be me as a Pokemon trainer. I think that's me holding a Pokeball, but I can't really tell. This was supposed to be a drawing of my OC. I never finished it. I guess I didn't like it. So you can see me sketching with purple pencil. And this one is me planning out a drawing of Sailor Mars, because my sister wanted me to draw Sailor Mars because she's her favorite Sailor Scout. And it's me continually trying to get it right. You won't even see the finished one in this sketchbook because it's not in the sketchbook. I pulled it out. And yes, I'm trying to get a drawing down here. Thank you for that, sir. Sorry, that's my dog jingling around. A drawing of rose quartz that I never finished. I wasn't really into Steven Universe. I watched the whole thing just because my sister kept bothering me to watch it. It was a pretty good show. I liked it well enough, but I don't remember why I wanted to draw rose quartz. I think this is me attempting to draw... No, it's not me trying to draw her portrait, because the portrait that hangs in Steven's house, because her eyes are not closed. I guess I just wanted to draw her. She does have very good character design, and like her curls, her ringlets are such like good like shape design, you know what I mean? It's just like so pretty. So I try to get that down. I actually made a new painting for my sister earlier last year. I made a new one because the old one got ruined somehow, and that one came out pretty good. Drawing of my OC. If you've seen her in other sketchbooks, I'm just trying to get her look down some more here. Drawing I never finished. Another drawing I never finished. A drawing of that male OC you guys have seen. Something else I never finished, but this one's a yellow, so I don't know if you guys can really see it that much. I was going to try and draw something here, obviously with two characters, because there are two heads. Another drawing in yellow. I don't know if you guys can see that, sorry. This was also supposed to be a drawing of rose quartz, but I didn't like the way it turned out, so I tried to play it off with that blood coming out of her mouth like it wasn't rose quartz, but it still very clearly is rose quartz. Another drawing of my OC. A redraw of Shelly from the Mini Monsters. This is really kind of all over the place. I mean, purple and pink do go together, but maybe just not in the way that I did it. And I'm still trying to learn how to use markers, so you can see that. So I smeared ink all over the place because I'm not waiting long enough. I don't know. And I guess I re-inked parts of this. You can see the ink is lighter because I was drawing with pencil, so I erased it. And so I guess I inked over it and then I erased it, so all the ink is washed off. I tried to draw makeup. I never draw makeup on my characters now. I just never really think about it. But I guess it's kind of a good thing because, Jesus Christ, what is that? And so I tried to give her like an asymmetrical design. And so I guess I cut half of her hair off and let the other half of it be super long. But it doesn't read very well. I could do something with this. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about redrawing it like right off the top of my head right now. I'm like, I don't need to do any more redraws, but I could do something with this. Sorry, I'm just looking at the potential. Oh, and look, since I'm learning how to do finished pieces, I'm doing finished pieces. You can see I've added the two little highlights to her cheeks and some on her shoulders. I started doing that way early, apparently. And you can also see this. I used to do blush on my characters. I don't really do blush like that too much anymore on finished pieces, but back then I did it on every finished piece. Okay, here we go. This is my very first Copic marker. This is what color was this? This was Sand, which I believe is E33. And it's the very first Copic marker I got. And as you can see, I had already learned a little bit about markers because this is a little bit smoother than even the drawing before it. It's a lot smoother. It's a lot more flat. Okay. And so you can see that I'm learning. And also, I think the brush pen helped a lot because those other markers that I was using, they were bullet nibs. And not to say this impossible to get a flat look with bullet nibs, but I didn't know how to do it correctly. I feel like the brush nib helps you a little bit more with that. And this is just a little girl who's like a Triclops that I drew. I've drawn her several times. I think you'll see another drawing of her right now. Yep. And so, as you can see, the splotchiness has returned because since this is a bigger piece than the one on the previous page, it's actually harder to get a nice seamless flat look with markers if you don't know what you're doing. And so I was like, I guess I got cocky from this one. And so I went with this one and it was not nice and seamless and flat. It's the same color, but obviously I didn't know what I was doing. You can see I was holding it much too long. You see these splotches? I'm holding it down for much too long and I'm letting stuff dry, right? So I probably put this down first and then I'm letting the marker dry and then trying to go over it again. And it's adding like layers on top. This is where I smeared the ink and it bled out. Okay, so that's why when I say you have to move fast with markers, I'm speaking from experience, okay? Because if you don't, this is what happens. And also your ink dry, because alcohol markers and ink, okay, they will smear the ink especially. And I'm not sure if this was a water-based pen or not, but alcohol markers will definitely smear a water-based pen, so you have to be careful and know how your supplies interact before you use them together. Do like a little test page, and not just go straight in on your finished piece. Another redrawing of Annie from the Mini Monsters. I literally did redraws of these characters in like the previous sketchbook tour that I did. I'm just always redrawing stuff, and I have been for forever. But I was like, well, my style has changed, so maybe I'll draw them in my new style. And you'll see that my style really changes a lot in these early sketchbooks just because I'm trying out different things and trying out new things. You can see my style is you can see where my style translates from this to where it is currently, I think. It's changed. I don't think it's changed too much. I mean, the way I draw eyes has changed a little bit, but the fundamentals and like the base of it is still the same. I just got a little bit more proficient. Oh, that drawing of Sailor Mars. This is not the finished one, obviously, but because I didn't finish it. But I did try to ink it with that brush pen again, and I guess I didn't like the way it turned out because I never finished it. And you know what the problem is, I think? Her legs. Jesus Christ. Look at how long her legs are. Which is fine. I mean, in Sailor Moon, their legs are already pretty long. But for me, I'm looking at it, I'm like, that is just insane. Another drawing of that girl, but I tried to use a different marker. I guess I got frustrated because you can see it's smearing, and I'm not even trying to make it look flat. I guess I got mad. Well, you can see here, I was trying to use the Copic marker originally, but the Copics, if you use them all the time, they're gonna run out of ink, right? And so I don't think I knew about ink refills at the time, so I was just like, well, I messed it up. I think I really like this drawing. So I messed it up, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll just fill it in with this other one. But the color clearly doesn't match, and so I think I got mad, and I was just like, just fill it all the way in. And I was smearing the ink all over the place. It's actually just kind of sad looking at it. I was just like, oh, I'm so frustrated. It's like, you don't need to get frustrated, buddy. And I didn't even bother erasing the lines anywhere on it. But it's okay, because I never gave up. So eventually I do learn how to use markers. A little bit, at least. A drawing of a scene I never finished because scenes are hard and also scary. So I tried to draw that scene again, didn't do it. I actually did manage to draw the scene, but I stopped inking it. I think this is because I copied this over to a new piece of paper with a light pad just so that I wouldn't have to color it in my sketchbook, I believe. And so I'll just explain what's going on, I guess, in the scene. Basically, these two are in love, right? But unfortunately, her family is forcing her to get married to this guy. And he is just like her childhood friend. He doesn't want to get married to her either. But they're both in like this situation. And so he's comforting her, right? Because she's talking to her ex for the first time since she had to break up with him. And he's pretending like he's okay. That's why he's smiling. And he's like, it's fine. I understand. You were never in love with me. You were in love with him. And that's why she's kind of sad because she's like, no, that's not true or whatever. So she's just trying to talk to him in a cordial way. And so he's trying to give her strength. But that's not really helping her with this guy, you know. But in her point of view, she can't be with him anyway, so. I know it's kind of melodramatic, but that's what I was going for. I'm gonna try to draw that Sailor Mars drawing again. I'm drawing in my OC, but I was trying to do, not perspective, I was trying to do side profile. I actually don't mind this one. I feel like I like the shapes. It's not like as good as I would do it now. Not that I'm great at side profiles now, but I don't know. There's something about the sketchiness and the circles and like the lightness of these ones on the inside and then the darkness of the outside lines that I like. I don't know. I think this was supposed to be Sapphire from Steven Universe, but also it's kind of terrifying to look at, so we're going to skip past that one. Another drawing I never finished. This is why I was going through Sketchbook so fast. I did not finish anything in here. Two OCs, they're like, he's like, what? And she's like, nothing, because she's looking at him because she likes him. But he does not like her. Which is just a dynamic that I like, I guess, is unrequited love. But not really unrequited. More like what's it called? I can't remember the word right now. Tsundere? I like more of a tsundere vibe. Sometimes, not all the time. Don't even know what's going on with that one. Trying to draw someone sitting. This is like an Alice in Wonderland thing. I do have a finished Alice in Wonderland. Not a full illustration. It's just like a sketch of a girl. It's like a finished marker coloring of just her standing in a white space. I don't know where it is though. Well, that's not true. I know where it is. It's in my finished binder. My binder of finished works. But I'm not going to do a flip through of that one until I get to the end of all my sketchbooks. So don't expect that for a really long time. I tried to draw my character and side profile again. And I guess I like this one better because I inked it. But I never colored it in, so I didn't like it that much. Someone dancing or playing baseball. A drawing of a girl. I think she's supposed to have like a crop top on. But she's got like a crop top. It's like her jacket. She's got like a shirt and it's tied up and she's got a shirt underneath. Which is, I feel like, who does that? What kind of outfit choice is that? The body I never finished. Another body I never finished. I hate looking at this. It's such a waste of paper. Tried to draw rainbow quartz from Steven Universe. And I still didn't understand that you need to wait for the ink to dry. I remember this one, actually remember this distinctly doing this one because I got really upset because I liked the drawing a lot. And then I really smeared the ink all over her face, bro. If it was anywhere else but her face, I would have been fine. I hate when the ink smears on her face. Maybe I'll redo this drawing as an adult. I mean, I was an adult then, but as a more proficient adult, I guess. But I still like the way this foot is. This foot is not a bad foot. I mean, there's obviously issues with it, but it's not a bad foot. But this pose is weird. A comic. So this is those same OCs, but they're in an AU in this situation. And so she is a witch. I mean, she's a witch in the main story. But in this story, she's a witch. And he's interested in making a girl fall in love with him. So she sells him a love potion, which I know is super unethical, right? But that's kind of like the point, is that it's supposed to be a cautionary tale. So she's like, only use one drop. And he's like, got it. But he puts the whole thing in there. And so the girl ends up obsessively in love with him. And she ends up killing people that he is close to. So that she'll be the only one close to him. And then at the end of the story, she like stabs him in like a way. She's like, if I can't have you, nobody can. So she stabs him. And she's like, idiot. So he doesn't actually die, but she like helps revive him so he could fix his mistake. But those people, that girl really killed them. And that girl is, I don't know if she goes to jail or if she just forgets. I can't remember. I didn't really write the ending of the story, but that was the basic premise of that AU. A drawing I never finished. Drawing I never finished. It's such a waste of paper. Okay, so this is another one of the Sailor Mars trying to draw it. I tried so hard on this Sailor Mars drawing, you guys. And if you see the finished one, you'd be like, wow, I spent all that time trying to plan out that drawing, and it just came out really bad. And you know what? It did. And so maybe I'll try and do it again. I'm drawing on my OC, but I was trying to plan out the colors with those cheap markers I had. Her skin is really washed out. Like, I can see the 29. I don't see the 28 in her skin at all, dude. Maybe I just put it in her lips. I don't know. This dance is really weird. This is her 2P version, which is basically like reverse personality. But it obviously doesn't look like her. But also, I don't know. Drawing of a body I never finished. And that's pretty much all that's in this sketchbook. I'm just so sad. I hate when I waste all the paper. But just a little bit of look into some of my other old drawings. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It's actually a pretty short one today. Oh, dang, I just broke that. That's crazy. Anyway, like I said, this is a pretty good sketchbook. If you're a beginner, I would just go ahead and go with these because you can put whatever you want on it and it'll handle it pretty okay. Obviously, it's not the best sketchbook in the world, but when you're just starting out, you really don't need the best. You need something that will work okay with everything you're trying and experimenting and using it for, right? So this took ink pretty well, and we saw that it took my alcohol markers pretty well. Obviously, it bled onto the backside, but that's going to happen to every sketchbook you use markers on, unless it's a specific paper, like a Crescent Render sketchbook that is not supposed to bleed through on the other side. So yeah, I'd recommend this sketchbook. The art in it is not the best, but that's okay. It's another leg on my art journey, and I think you can really see my style progressing a little bit more. My bodies are getting a little bit better, but this is only sketchbook 8 of like 50. So we still have a long way to go and see even more growth. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for spending this time with me. Bye!